Jeffrey gets scared when it is his turn to order at a restaurant. He panics whenever he's in a social situation. He starts stuttering whenever he speaks to a pretty girl. He likes that girl in his class, however, he doesn't make an effort to build up the courage to get up and talk to her. He chooses to stay quiet and continue playing video games. Adonis, on the other hand, he walks and stands confidently, with his shoulders back and his big, wide chest up. Women admire this in him as he is well spoken and is not afraid to speak his mind in social situations. He wasn't always like this, however, but he decided to face his fears and step out of his comfort zone. He walks up to women and confidently asks for their number, and he takes the lead whenever he takes them out on dates and orders his woman's food. Just like a masculine man should. You know, there was this one time in which I was in my brother's girlfriend's house. It was his ex, his current ex. We went to her house. It was a social situation, like a family reunion or whatever. And I remember always in these situations, and you can probably relate to this, always in these situations, I would always try to call as little attention as possible. I would always stand behind my middle brother. I would always stand behind his back. Like, I would always be behind him, trying to call as little attention as possible. Like, no one talk to me, no one talk to me. I would always think to myself, I would always just be on my phone, trying to call as little attention as possible. Like, imagine being in this situation. You know this, because you've been in these situations before. And I remember it got to a point in which eventually they were all questioning us, what do we do and stuff like that. And I remember they started with my brothers and all of that. And imagine being in the situation yourself in which you know that they're gonna ask you something and you don't want to. You don't want to be there. You're so uncomfortable with all these people that you don't know. You don't have any other family, and then your brothers are speaking to them. And I remember one of my brother's girlfriend's sister. I knew she was about to talk to me, and I remember my heart, it was pounding. Imagine being in this situation yourself. Literally imagine yourself, bro. And I remember she looked at me in the eye and my heart was pounding. That's how fucking shy I was. And I remember the first thing she said, I already knew what it was. She told me, "Hey Juan, hey Emiliano, why are you so quiet all the time?" And you can probably relate to this. You've been in this situation before yourself. And I remember telling myself, I remember just being the words that I said, because I don't know about you, but me personally, what I said was these exact words. I said, "Oh, I'm just like that all the time." And I don't know why, but everyone was looking straight at me. Imagine everyone's looking directly at you and that's all you say. And then there's an awkward silence and everyone just looks around. People are disappointed in you. I freaking despise that feeling. Yet I would never do anything about it. Same thing happened whenever we went to order at a Subway or something like that. My parents would always insist for me to order my own food. I was 7 or 8 years old at the time, whenever these things happened. But yeah, I would remember I would always have my heart pounding, and I would be like, "Can I get lettuce and tomatoes in this?" And what pissed me off the most is that they never heard me. I would always have to repeat myself, and it was so fucking awkward. And you can very well relate to this. This was until I eventually forced myself to overcome this shyness, this introverted version of myself. I decided to force myself into social situations. I got a job as a waiter, and I became a lot more confident. I disciplined myself, and I became a lot more confident. And I realized that you shouldn't let yourself be put down by people which are very much a lot less disciplined than you. They have accomplished nothing in their lives, because let's face it, the average person is an idiot. And I know there's some people right now watching this and they're like, "Oh no, you should accept who you are and you shouldn't change yourself. Everyone is perfect and whatever." All this BS. That's what people told me. And if you're saying this right now, and if you're in the situation in which you're a shy little kid and you don't want to change it because it's too uncomfortable, or because you shouldn't do this because you should be yourself, then you're a little bitch. You have to put yourself in these social situations which force yourself out of your comfort zone, which force you to grow as a man. And once you learn to grow as a man, and you learn to accept yourself, and you're confident in how you walk and everything, life is so much better. And I know there's so many people right now being like, no, it's okay, you can be yourself and whatever. No, a masculine man has to grow. And if you're a little kid and you can relate to this, and you have that desire, that aggression, that yes, I want to be more masculine, I want to be more confident in these social situations. I hate it when people tell me that I'm quiet or whatever. If you have that in you, if you have that feeling, that aggression, then this is for you. I remember the thought that came into my head, in which I decided, like when I first decided to actually improve myself and overcome this shyness, was, why should I allow someone that's less disciplined than me, that hasn't put in the work as me, that hasn't worked out as hard as I can, that hasn't suffered as much as I have, why should I allow him to put me down underneath him? Because I don't know about you, but whenever someone told me that I was shy, or something awkward happened and they told me that I was shy, that I never spoke, it's like I felt it's like that increased their ego a little bit. You know what I mean? And I like my self-perception of me, it's like it like brought my self-esteem down more than it already was. And I want you to think about it like that. How are you gonna allow someone to put you down like that? You should have some aggression. You should have the balls to be like, no. Hi, how are you? This is my name. This is what I do. You should have that aggression. Do not allow anyone to put you down like this. Have the confidence to speak for yourself, to be well spoken. This is because the way that you speak and how you present yourself tells a lot about who you are. So why should you allow yourself to be seen as the weak guy, the shy one? Discipline yourself and put in the hard work, so you realize that most people haven't put in this hard work. They haven't worked out. They haven't started a business. They're all idiots. They probably sit around at home looking at their phone all day like freaking idiots. Like, how are you gonna allow yourself to be put down by these people? Plus, on top of that, most people are never even gonna remember you. If you go to a McDonald's, they're not gonna remember your face. So act and speak naturally how you want to speak. You're probably never gonna see them again, especially if you're somewhere far away from your house. They're not gonna remember you, bro. Just speak your words. Don't be afraid. You miss 100% of the chances that you don't take. So anytime that you have a chance to speak, speak. So if you were pretty shy and you were a pretty introverted kid, just like I was, because I understand the pain of being in this situation, and I know the world is set up in a way for us to stay like this. I understand your pain. However, I want you to change. I want you to have some aggression towards the world and force yourself to grow. Put yourself in these social situations and grow as a man. Once you grow as a man and you actually gain this confidence, you will realize that life is so much better, because you will quite literally realize that you're so much better than all of these people that are trying to put you down. And why? Because you put in the hard work. Do it for your future self.